exciting edition of Agreenvolution on Light Radio. To be a part of the program, do join us on Facebook at Light Radio or link us up on YouTube at Lights Radio. You can also join us on the Radio Garden. Simply go to the Google Play Store app, install the Lights Radio app, the Google Radio Garden rather, and search for Lights Radio. On today's edition, we shall be linking up with what we discussed last week. We shall further continue on the impact or effect of weather on livestock productivity. Last week we spoke about majorly on crop, while this week we shall be looking at poultry. We are picking poultry because in this part of the country, majority of those that are into livestock production are poultry farmers, although we have cattle farmers. We shall talk briefly on cattle also, but poultry is our main focus for this week. When we talk about poultry, the first thing that comes to people's mind is laying birds and broiler birds. But poultry goes beyond that. Poultry encompasses all feathered animal, ranging from ostrich, peacock, pigeon, turkey, noila, name it, any feathered animal are categorized to be under poultry. In biology, we call them avian species. Now, to further dissect the topic for today, we shall pick it one after the other. If we are able to finish for broiler this week, we shall. But if otherwise, that means we shall pick also layers. If otherwise, then we spill layers till the next episode. But for broiler have different breed and different strains. And all these strains, they have their unique features. Apart from these features, they have their unique requirements. But however, there is a common requirement to broilers with respect to their crude protein requirements, their energy requirements, the calcium and phosphorus requirements, the amino acid requirements. All this differs from poultry species to poultry species. More so, the temperature requirement for this animal, the temperature they can tolerate, also differs. Talking about broiler, we pick broiler first because we know the greater population of birds being produced by backyard farmers into the bird is resting is different from the bird is sleeping. So it is important and imperative that as individuals, as agriculturists, we need to understand that all this, most especially our ease of management and everything, is significant. Now, broiler during hot weathers. Broiler commonly are birds that lay meat rather. They are for meat production. Depending on the kind of feed you administer, some of them may have subcutaneous fat. But however, broilers are meat chicken. Now, by virtue of their morphology and appearance, to see broilers spreading on the floor in their pen, trying to increase the surface area of their body so heat can be dissipated. Let's say about 3 weeks ago, I fed my bird because I feed my birds very early in the morning before 7:30. I fed them. So I fed them and went off to see a client. The sun that radiates sometimes around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Actually, the solar intensity for that day was so high that about 6 of my birds died of heat stress because I was not around. Had it been I was around, I'm not saying my presence would have stopped the mortality, but I would have been able to provide a degree of solution to it. Poultry, you discover that the roof is high enough such that even the solar intensity or the heat radiation from the zinc is dissipated before it gets to the chicken. This is to improve their livability, their well-being, and to reduce the rate at which they are exposed to heat stress. More so, they need lots of water during the hot season. You can go by providing them or increasing the water trough that you provide for them. During hot weather, you may drop ice block in their water in the afternoon to calm down the heat or the temperature of the water. So when they drink the cool water, they are to the beds. Even if they are cattle, it is cool water that they are supposed to be offered. Kò ń ṣe omi tó yẹ kó ti ń gbóná nínú tank tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ òun lè máa wá sọ pé kẹ́ fún wọn pé torí pé wọ́n jẹ́ ẹranko. No. If you are doing that, you are shortchanging yourself because it will affect their productivity, it will affect their physical activity, it will affect their performance, which will have very high toll on your own expected produce. More so during cold weather, these animals will want to eat more to increase the heat production so as to keep them warm, since they are warm-blooded animal. During this cold weather, or have acidosis. But in poultry, you didn't administer enough water, or the water you give them is warm, and you expect their feed to digest. How? Ẹ ká máa wo ṣe fúnra wa. Tó bá jẹ́ ìwọ náà ni, lọ ní kó mu gàrí, o ti ń jẹ gàrí látàárọ̀, gàrí ló ń jẹ, ó wá fún ẹ lómi tó warm, ṣó máa lọ? So the same analogy that is applicable to us human beings is applicable to these animals too. So we shouldn't take for granted the fact that and say because they are animals, they must bend to whatever we give them. The welfare of your animal will in turn mean the welfare of your pocket. With this, I think if we are able to implement some of these things, we'll have an improved production, we'll have a better understanding of the errors that we might have committed in the past with respect to weather changes in agricultural production. Let's go for this short break. When we return, we go into other aspects on how energy, water, nutrition, and weather can affect productivity.
Agriculture is united and strong, preaching the goodness with integrity. Agriculture is peace, united we stand, preaching the goodness with integrity. The land is green, let's make the fallow land yield its fruitfulness. The land is green, youth come obey and come back to the farmlands. The land is green, we're building the nation where food spread to the coast. The land is green, yes, the land is green. Agriculture is peace, united we stand, preaching the goodness with integrity. Agriculture is peace, united we stand, preaching the goodness with integrity.
Koma noma dan mu ciyar da kasar mu. Koma noma dan mu dawo da arzikin mu.
Agriculture, aquaculture, Genti, lifetime and farming. Draw China, same thing the yellow faka and their funding. Not come and Nigeria if you to be what you mark and agriculture be the best.
Jebo Mishahila Wao, Eriko Shisha, Amajalo, Iwe Kiko, Lai si Oko, Atiada, Oikeo. Agriculture is peace, united we stand, preaching the goodness with integrity. Agriculture is peace, united we stand, preaching the goodness with integrity. Farm connect, check out connect you. Farm connect.
Welcome back. If you are just joining this Agreenvolution on Lights Radio, to be a part of the program, do join us on Lights Radio and Facebook, and also on YouTube at Lights Radio. You can also join us via the Radio Garden through the Google Play Store at Light Radio. We've been talking about impacts or effects of weather on livestock productivity. And we shall be moving to nutrition. How does weather utilize nutrition to affect livestock productivity? This can be divided into two. Number one, prior to feeding. Or let me say into three. Prior has crude protein of around 45% crude protein. But however, due to weather and the chemical reaction that happens or occur in GNC, it is really not advisable to use GNC in feed production, most especially for laying birds. Why? Because of its tendency, the high tendency of building up aflatoxin, which may cause toxicosis for the animals. More so, if GNC is incorporated in the feed of laying birds, an increased egg size may arise. But at the end of the day, over a long period of time, cases of prolapse may be established among the flock. Mortal feed meal, and you took storage or you took delivery of maize during the dry season, and you intend to store those maize till when you use them, probably during the rainy season when the price of maize will go up. And you know why storing? Lots of reactions will occur. Humidity will increase due to rainy season. You bought during dry season, remember? And during the rainy season, humidity increased. That means the grain of the maize would have absorbed some moisture. The moisture content would have risen up. Let us remind us to be at the back of our mind that the least moisture content acceptable in feed ingredients is 10%. Should be atom. They don't die easily. Àwọn mold yẹ á ti wà nínú ẹ̀, ẹ wá mú ẹ lọ ẹ fi ṣe oúnjẹ ìdìyẹ jáde, ẹ tún fún àwọn ìdìyẹ jẹ. You cause more problems for the chicken. So as the weather is playing its role in enhancing water consumption or reducing their water consumption, it is also playing a role in increasing or reducing the moisture content of the feed, which is why when you are sourcing for feed ingredients for your poultry, you need to source for feed ingredients and test the feed ingredients. You test for presence of aflatoxin, you test for mycotoxin rather, you test for the energy, the crude protein, the moisture content. These are the indices that are important. No. But the water is reduced because there is less heat dissipation. That's one. Secondly, there is less solar intensity that may give a rise for them to want to drink more water. So during the rainy season or during the cold weather, there is less water consumed if enough water is not consumed. Because water plays significant role in digestibility, just like in human being too. So these are significant matters that we need to look into because the weather plays significant role even in human beings.
Preaching the goodness with integrity, agriculture is peace, united we stand. Preaching the goodness with integrity,
Koma noma dan mu ciyar da kasar mu. Koma noma dan mu dawo da arzikin mu.
Agriculture, aquaculture, Genti, lifetime and farming. Draw China, same thing the yellow faka and their funding. No come on Nigeria if you to be what you mark and agriculture be the best.
ṣe bóun níṣẹ́ ilé wa o ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè o ìwé kíkọ́ láì sí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ní dé o agriculture is key.
Àfiṣù ránṣẹ́. So there was this kind of trade by barter system, although not planned, between those that stay in the city and those that stay in the village. When you are going to greet your parents in the village, you buy milk, olokbe, sardine, geisha, things they can't get in the village, you buy it for them. And when you are leaving, they give you all kind of food stuff. Now, we have successfully denied ourselves those rights because everybody wants to stay in the city. As a matter of fact, it is important and imperative that we understand that we cannot eradicate agriculture from our day-to-day life, because agriculture is the pillar. Agriculture is life. Agriculture is the only solution to our present predicament in this country as at today. So if you see somebody still dissing agriculture or talking down on agriculture, tell the person you are not serious. Odò tó bá gbàgbé orísun, ó ṣetán láti ẹ̀yin parí ẹ̀, èmi kàn máa bá yín parí ẹ̀. So by virtue of majority of our experience, those of us that have had a little of experience with respect to this industry, we understand that we cannot do everything alone. But do your bit. Let your neighbor do his or her bit. Àgbájọ ọwọ́ báyìí òun la fi sọ̀yà. Talking about the impact of weather and weather on livestock productivity, this topic is very significant because weather changes production. It is more visible in laying beds compared to other poultry beds, because there is one very powerful ingredient in livestock management: that weather changes fluctuates the rate at which the animal take these ingredients. So as long as the weather is depicting or deciding the volume of water an animal takes, it will continue to affect layer. Which is why as individuals or as farmers, we need to equip ourselves with the right knowledge on how to navigate any challenge. We've had cases of farmers complaining, drop in egg production recently. And we know it is a function of weather. So this accounted for one of the reasons why we have decided that let us enlighten people or the general populace on the effects of weather on livestock productivity. So with this, I think those of us that are into broiler production, we understand why your broiler will lie down tó máa na ẹsẹ̀ kan sí Togo, tó máa na apá kan sí Saudi Arabia, táwa na orí sílẹ̀. It is because they want to increase the surface area of their body to be able to dissipate it. Now let us compare two things that we spoke about from last week. We spoke about the modification of plants, reducing their leaves to reduce the surface area, to reduce what? Evapotranspiration. That is during the hot weather. Now in broiler will want to dissipate more heat, so they will increase their own surface area. You can see the crop wants to conserve water. It is reducing the surface area through which evapotranspiration can occur, while broiler birds or animals will increase the surface area to enhance its dissipation and also to bring about cooling off. This accounts for why when you go jogging in the morning and you come and you return back home, the easiest posture you want to find yourself is either lying down and spreading, or you want to quickly go and have your bait. This is so as to cool down your system and dissipate the heat from your system. So this is also found in animals too. They also want to dissipate the heat the system is producing. So as farmers, we cannot just fold our arms and be hoping on miracle to happen. We need to take the bull by the horn, do the best we can do, and then subject these animals to changes that will improve their productivity. We cannot hope on feeding them alone. Mo ti fún wọn lóúnjẹ, mi ní nǹkan mìíràn tí mo fẹ́ ṣe fún wọn mọ́ jàre. Kẹ́díẹ̀ kan máa pa mí. I've seen farmers do that kind of thing. Now, jokes apart, a farmer once walked to me, I think during the course of this week, and told me, ẹ wo, àwọn ẹdìyẹ mi ti ń jẹun jù, ẹ jẹ́ oògùn wo ni mo lè fún wọn kó má fi jẹun púpọ̀ mọ́. I was just laughing. To me, it sounded like comedy. Your chicken no dey chop. Your chicken they over chop. You come with me, say which drug you fit give them so they no go dey chop again. And whereas there are some people that are praying for their chicken to eat more. Let's go for this short break. When we return, we continue.
It's green, can't you see? The land is green, it's green. Oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine.
This is Agreenvolution, your #1 agri-technical program on radio. Comes on your airwaves every Saturday between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Lights Radio. To be a part of the discourse, please call 080-973-42000. You can watch and listen to us live on Facebook at Lights Radio. To catch up with our previous episode, please access at facebook.com/Agreenvolution. You can also listen to our program live on Radio Garden or via our website at www.lightsradio.com. For enquiries, sponsorship and advert placement, please call 080-99-574-3822 or 0812-758-4404. You can also email us at agreenvolution@gmail.com. Thank you. Welcome back. So I just joined this Agreenvolution on Light Radio. We've been talking about the impact or effects of weather on livestock productivity. We made reference to cases of modification in plants and animals, how the crop you plant will modify by reducing the surface area of the leaf to reduce the rate at which evapotranspiration is occurring. And we spoke about how the broiler birds or the poultry in general will spread to increase their own surface area to dissipate it during the hot weather. More so, during hot weather, you discover that these birds, their physical activity is limited because they don't want to waste their energy. But during the cold weather, the weather, be it hot or cold or harmattan, they have an impact on their productivity, which is confirmed. And also, the humidity in the weather could also pose threats to bring about diseases that are respiratory related. An example is chronic respiratory disease. During the course of the week, I remember a farmer came to me and said his birds has contagious caprine pleuropneumonia. So I tried my best to treat the animal, but you know, our people, wọ́n fẹ́ náwó iṣẹ́. The injection alone that he was supposed to buy, because number one, that thing has a vaccine. But since he didn't vaccinate them, we have to treat symptomatically. So I was trying to explain to him the drugs he's going to buy, the regimen of administration. So he felt maybe I was trying to, but boy, you should fake bad meaning, should shaking it. But at the end of the day, he lost the animal. Why did he lose the animal? The animal had phlegm in the nose, and at the same time, it was stooling. So, and you know, the moment an animal is stooling uncontrollably, it's losing water. Ó dàbí èèyàn tó ní cholera ni. Bó bá ṣe ya ìgbẹ́ tó, ló ṣe máa tètè weak tó. That's also synonymous to these animals too. So the first thing you are supposed to do is to, first of all, control that stooling, that stooling. Control defecation. When you control the defecation, you can now fall back on treating the phlegm and other nasal discharge. But if you are focused only on the nasal discharge and phlegm and the stooling does not stop, you are just playing games. And also, you can also administer ORT depending on your proficiency. I know some people may not like some information I drop because of how sensitive they are and thinking that I want to drop by. As far as I'm concerned, these things are first aid that can be done to the animal. And also, as individuals and as professionals, we need to understand that our animals' welfare comes first before any other thing. If your animal welfare is not of paramount to your mind, to your thoughts, then you know something is wrong with you upstairs. Because if that animal dies, I'll ask you if you'll be balanced. Like yesterday, a guy came to me. They bought a cattle. I don't know where they bought the cow from. But the first picture he showed me, the cow was upright, big, and well musculated. They took the cow home, and in about 2 weeks, the cow started emaciating. Lots of bruises on the legs, on the loin, on the rump. I was not like, what happened to it? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Láàrin ìgbàwo sí ìgbàwo, 2 weeks gap, ló ní egbò tí kún ara ẹ̀ báyìí. He said he does not know. Whereas, while they were offloading the cow from the truck, màlúù yẹn kán lẹ́sẹ̀. Wọn ò dẹ̀ mọ̀. In 2 weeks. So, ibi tó ti kán lẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn, ó ti ń gbè sínú, ó ti fẹ́ máa ní maggot láti inú wá. And in this part of the country, if that kind of case occur, the money you spend to treat that case, àwọn èèyàn á wò pé ṣé kò wá dá kí n ká kó pàjẹ́, because of our animal welfare consciousness has not risen to that level. Tafile, so let us pass this animal through surgery. I'll share a video of a particular horse on Equitum that is being operated on. The animal has excessive growth of some tissues on the legs. I will share it on my page after the program, so you can see what we are talking about on how the Westerners care for their animals. Them caring for their animals has given rise to what we call EC facility, which is meaning environmental controlled facility for livestock production. It is available in broiler, it's available in layer, such that the animals use vents, they have cooling vents, depending on your pockets. And this reminds me of when I was younger, when I was in primary school. Then my school organized an excursion to Obasanjo farms. We saw a particular large white breed of pig that farrowed close to about 19 piglets. And there was this rumor that large white was a human being. The rumor flew around even till a few decades ago. It was after I graduated as an animal scientist that I understood that it was a lie that they were telling us. That there are breeds of pigs that could grow as big as that, even bigger than that, and that could farrow as much as that, even much more than that. It is a function of the nutrition that you have subjected the animal to. It is a function of your understanding of the technical manipulation of the nutrition of the animal. Not everything we see that feel possible ni possible. Just like I uploaded a video of a chicken that doesn't have feather, and so people were saying it's not possible, that it's AI. And I told them, with genetic engineering, nothing is impossible. With genetic engineering, nothing is impossible. If genetic engineering can bring about a cat that have 2 different colored eye, then what can genetic engineering does? So with this, the Westerners have brought about an environmental controlled structure or facility that within this environmental control structure, you can manage your animal irrespective of the weather outside. The temperature inside remains constant. Irrespective of the humidity outside, the humidity inside remains constant. There is a control to which you can tune. What temperature do you want to maintain inside? Do you want to maintain 27 degrees centigrade? You maintain it. If you want to maintain 40% humidity, you maintain it. This is only possible through the environmental controlled atmosphere, which is the new. It's not even new. It's what has been, even in Nigeria here, we have farms that have that EC facility. And I remember telling one of my friends that if I have my means, I will buy AC, a fan, and fix it in my penthouse. He was looking at me. I said yes, because if I can invest a fan now, a ceiling fan now costs within the range of, let's say, about 35,000 naira. If I have the money and I buy like 3 in my pen and I fit it with like 2 air conditioner, I'll be able to control the humidity in that penthouse. I'll be able to control the temperature in that penthouse. Thereby, I will spend less. This will improve your productivity, improve the welfare of your birds, improve even your own cerebral status. Because when your birds have problem as a farmer, you too